Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to complete the contract section of the report. This is a test report. Not every report will even have the contract section completed. The only time that you will complete it is if you mark purchase transaction. If the purchase transaction box is marked, the contract section must be completed. So for this example, I'm going to be looking at a property on Baywood because I know it is a sale. So to complete the purchase section, you need to have the contract. I'm sorry, to complete the contract section, you need to have the contract. It should be in the OneDrive folder. When you have it open, most of them are these realtor forms and they look like this. Most of them are somewhere around 5 pages with maybe some addendums attached. Not all of them, but you need to know from the, okay, first thing is I did or did not analyze the contract. If we're doing a purchase, we must analyze the contract, so we have to click, we have to mark we did analyze the contract, and then a box comes up. If the subject was a purchase transaction, was the contract analyzed? We said yes, that's what made this box pop up. And then it asks us for the transaction type. So we're going to select this drop down. We need to know if this is a REO sale, short sale, court ordered sale. I've actually never seen that. Estate sale, relocation sale. Non-arm's length would be like family members, like a divorce situation or a father selling to a son or vice versa, something like that. Arm's length is I don't know you, you don't know me, but you're the buyer and I'm the seller. So that can come from the listing. Let's take a look at this listing. Baywood subject property MLS. Looks like it's a remodeled home. A lot of times if it's remodeled, it could be an investor or something who has flipped it. All I'm seeing is it's remodeled. It's not a foreclosure. It's not a short sale. I don't see anything indicating it is an estate or relocation company. The owner is Jason Tahan. It's not an estate or a relocation company or anything like that. So we're going to assume this is an arm's length sale. So mark that. And then enter an explanation of the results of the analysis or why it was not performed. So basically, you're just going to choose one of these. They basically say the same thing. This one just leaves the blank for us to enter in the number of pages. The number of pages in this case was 8, and you're looking at the contract. It's 1 of 8. So we're just going to say 8 pages. All right. Sometimes when we get new constructions, the contracts can be very lengthy. They can be 40 pages long. We still say we'll put the 40 and then we say something about it being a typical new construction contract. All right, so the next piece of information we need is the contract price and the date of contract. Going back to the contract. Okay, the total purchase price shall be $67,250. That is the contract price, $67,250. Okay, the date of contract. Going back to that contract, you're looking for the date it was signed, the most recent, let me correct that, the most recent date that it was signed. Signatures are typically, I'm going to scroll until you get to the signature page. So this was signed on 12/22 by the buyer. It was accepted by the seller on 12/22, but then we're going to check the addendums because sometimes the addendums have a later date. Everything still says 12/22 in this case. Don't see any other dates. I'm just glancing through for signature dates. These signatures still say 12/22, so that is going to be the contract date, 12/22/2016. Is the seller the owner of public records? So here, again, we look at the sales contract. They want to know if the seller, which is listed right here, the purchaser is Jenny Locke, the seller is Jason Tahan. Is he the owner of record? So we saw that MLS showed that Jason Tahan was the owner, but we need to check the tax records. So go back into the folder, open up the tax assessor report, and looky there, Jason Tahan. Look how his name is spelled. That's a little bit different, so I'm just going to double check it everywhere. And he bought it. Look, he just bought it a year ago. But he does, in fact, own it. All right, back over here to contract sections. We're going to say yes. And then our data source is Madison or Limestone County. In this case, the property's in Madison County. Final field here, our question is there any financial assistance to be paid by any party on behalf of the borrower? What we're looking for in the contract, let's go back to the contract, is we're looking for a paragraph that discusses settlement charges, or it'll say closing costs. So reading through here, we can see purchaser's loan closing costs, prepaid items, and it lists all these other fees are to be paid by the purchaser unless herein accepted. Funding fee to be financed. Yes, that does not count. This is what we're looking for. Seller agrees to contribute up to $750, and then it says, in this case, it says see below, towards purchaser's total settlement charges. So we're going to see below. When it says see below, it wants you to come down here. All of this is standard stuff. We don't even really need to mess with it too much. The additional provisions. Inspection, that's normal. It's contingent upon buyer's physical inspection of property. That's normal. Seller will pay $750 towards total settlement costs. Okay? Buyer has been pre-approved. That's not relevant to the closing cost. And then that is relevant to the closing date, not the closing cost. So basically, the seller has agreed to pay $750 in closing costs. So we're going to say yes here. And then it says, if yes, enter amount, $750. Sometimes it'll list it as a list of items that will be paid, but you won't know the amount. That's when you would mark that box. There is financial assistance amount that is unknown, and then you would describe the costs that were going to be paid there and that the amount is unknown. In this case, we know it's going towards closing costs, so we're just going to come over here to this quick list, seller paying closing costs. That's it. That's it for the contract section. You just have to make sure everything lines up. If by chance, just an alternate scenario, say Jason Tahan did not own the property according to that tax record. If that were the case, we would need to flag this. I need you to put a note in here. I need you to send an email or notification to the office manager telling her and or the appraiser that the seller is not the owner of public record and asking for documentation saying that they are. So we'll have to obtain that from the lender. We really don't want to deliver these reports unless we can answer yes to that question. But these tax records are not always current. So it could be that this is saying that John Smith owns this house, but there could be a more recent deed out there that did not make its way to us, and the lender or somebody with closer contact to the transaction would need to provide that to us if we were unable to find it on our own. And that is the end of the contract section. So thank you again.